a lot has been happening while I've been away, but these two ladies, what's been happening in their lives, I have been part and parcel because they are members of my e-group. Yeah. Angela and Stella, aka Stesh, who's also my e-group leader. And amazing things have been happening in your life over the past couple of years. But why we have you here today is to share specifically what you're significantly engaged in during the week. Okay, so here's a pop quiz for you, Angela. What stood out for you with Pastor Olunga's sermon last week? Just to give you a clue, okay, so not to angusha you in this guy exam. He talked about the primary role of the church is to make disciples of all nations. So that is a clue. So what stood out?
Morning, church. It's a challenge that we are to make disciples of all nations, meaning in all spheres of our interactions in life, whether it's work, at home, social spheres, that should be top of mind. And for me, that was a great challenge. I remember something else that he said, that's a primary reason. And then second to that, serve the poor, do other things. But discipleship is the primary reason.
We know Safaricom for communication. We know Superlove for. We know Toyota for. But we don't know the church for disciples. Okay? We know the church for tithes, offering, all these things. Okay? It's very interesting you say that. I think it resonates with me a lot, what you've just said, Angela. That is our primary purpose. And for you specifically, Stesh, you have taken that a step further. And now you are part of making disciples amongst specifically a section in society, and that's the poor amongst us. So talk to us about that, Kidogo.
All right. So we work in Mathare, and our main aim is really to try and break the cycle of poverty for people in Mathare. And we have chosen to focus on children, starting with children from when they're young. And the realization is that, like Aliyah had said, we're all God's children, and He desires each one of us to come to Him. But if we're trying to break up that cycle of poverty, you can't speak to a child about Jesus and they're hungry, or you haven't provided a way for them to begin to have hope in their lives.
The basics, food, clothing, shelter.
Exactly.
So I come to you and I tell you, Jesus, hallelujah, Jesus.
Jesus loves you.
And then I go and I don't have food, or I don't have a roof over my head.
Exactly, yeah. So we are engaged in a school that is from pre-primary all the way up to Form 4. We've been growing the school every year, and this year was our first Form 4 class.
First Form 4 class graduated.
Yes.
Makofi kwa.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the idea is that we are changing mindsets for these children. And so as we are educating them, we're helping them recognize that, it's not going to take somebody from this other side of the world to go and change Mathare. It's going to be them. So building them up to be leaders, exposing them to just different things out of this world. Out of Mathare. And as you educate them, then they begin to see that they can be that change in Mathare, that they can break out of that cycle of poverty. So as we educate them, it's really an opportunity then for us also to speak to them about Christ. Yeah.
Grew up uptown, Angela. You went to uptown schools. You're just uptown. Lakini, you're in Mathare almost every day of the week, all right? I see your car, going. I'm like, wow, what? I mean, you're working with huge corporation, and then now you are in Madare. What's up with that?
It goes back to where the Lord leads and being obedient to what He has asked us to do. And that's to be His hands and His feet. I think it says in Matthew 25, verse 35. It says, "Then the king will say to those on his right, come you who are blessed by my Father, take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me." So that's what we're doing.
Wow. I was expecting an arc profound. That was, dang, that was on point. So, did you wrestle with this decision? Did it grow on you? Or this was an aha moment for you?
All of them. I wrestled with it because one of the co-founders had been asking me for quite a while. We have this skills training unit. Things are not quite working out how we would like. Could you come in and lend capacity there? So I did go in earlier, maybe, just on a volunteer basis a couple of times. But I had other plans. I wanted to do other things. Still to do with economic empowerment, but I was thinking of it more maybe from a policy level rather than a grassroots level. And then I went through a season of illness, and I had a lot of time to reflect on my life, to reflect on purpose, and wanting to just really listen to God's voice and hear what it is that He'd want me to do. So at the tail end of that, again, the request came. And I said, okay, God, I believe this is you talking to me. Let me do this.
You are sitting on the board of this organization, Edu Kenya, and doing your thing. But now you're running it, okay? And running the programs there. Talk to us a bit about this and what are some of the successes since then.
All right. So the challenge for me at that point on the board was, we were trying to set up systems and those kind of things. But then kind of recognizing, but then Kenyans, we have this thing of the West is going to come and change things for us. And so at some point then, again, like Angela, I think it just took God to kind of bring me to that position of, okay, things weren't working well. I had started a biashara and it wasn't working well. Before that, I'd been in corporate world. And so kind of thinking, okay, Lord, so is there a reason why things are not working well? Me, I've served you, I thought. And so eventually coming to the place of recognizing, perhaps I actually need to be, on the ground trying to help. And so then it was, okay, so what do I have in my hands? Because really, what am I going to tell somebody in Madare? You need to do this, to do that. I don't understand things at that level. And so my responsibility then, I recognized, was to begin to showcase what's happening. Begin to look for partners out here, in the rest of this community, to show them what is possible and begin to share with them, okay, this is how you can help us make a difference in these children's lives. Yeah.
So right now, the kids, how did the kids do in the ones who reach Form 4?
Wow. So like I said, our first Form 4 class, we had 20 students. We are intentional about keeping the classes small so that each teacher, has a small group of people. 20 kids took the exam and 12 students have qualified to go to university. Yeah. So we are super, super excited just about the possibilities that are available for these.
I had the opportunity with our e-group. We went and visited them. We were out in Makueni for an entire day.
Right.
It was just amazing meeting these guys. We ate the food that they eat.
Yes.
And their food is not bad. That was good. That was good food.
Well,
I actually had seconds.
yeah, I mean, well, because we're thinking from a Christ perspective, we don't want them just to eat
Weevils.
That's
Maram.
Exactly.
As we used to call it.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. We are old school.
Yeah.
I don't know what they call it now. It's still Maram. Okay, yeah.
Okay, right. And so whatever we can provide for them is what we give them. So if we have the money to do the rice and lentils, then that's what we do. Yeah. Sorry. The other exciting thing about these children. So even so out of the 2012 qualified, but part of our education is also helping these children recognize that even if you're not academically gifted, God has given you another gift. And so out of the others have also qualified to get into the diploma programs. You know how the Kenyan government has now gone into technical things. And some of these kids are amazing. There's one young man who is an artist. He's never had any professional training. But you give him a picture of yourself, he will draw you, and you can tell that is you, you know? So they all have opportunities. So now it's also now for me to try and network them to how else can you make a living out of this.
Angela, with the technical expertise you have, how can we be involved? What is that one step we can make to be able to be a part and parcel of Edu Kenya? Because you took major steps, all right? But what's that one step that we can make to be a part and parcel, to work with you?
Many steps, not just one. So I work in community sustainability, which is basically the arm that deals with working with the parents, because we realize that yes, we are doing this wonderful work in the class setting with our students, but they go back home to the same challenges that they've experienced all along.
Yeah.
So we thought, let's work with the parents, give them a skill, not just a technical skill, but also try and make it holistic, engage them in life skills. So that's what we do. And from that, we have started up a production unit. So this production unit, we tailor bags, we tailor uniforms, and other sort of merchandise. So there are different ways that you can actually get engaged. You can be involved by purchasing our products. So we've set up.
There's some products, some of your products are right there in the foyer on the information table, right?
Yes.
So we can buy them, right?
So you can buy them.
Yes.
You can also connect us to perhaps your organization. If your organization requires uniforms, we make uniforms. If your organization...
What sort of uniform? Like overalls, dust coats?
Overalls.
Whatever uniform it would be,
yes. Overalls, dust coats, shirts, polo shirts, t-shirts, that kind of thing. Things for marketing, merchandise, things that can be sewed, basically, stitched. We also ask that you give of your time. If you have any technical skill or life skills or other skills that you think would benefit us, we welcome you to come in, give of your time.
Allow me to interject. So if I'm part of an organization and we have, whatever event that he has, and I need 200 shirts stitched or, polo shirts, with
your logo.
With the logo on that.
Yeah, we do.
That would be something.
Yes.
Or if we have uniform, like maybe dust coats,
yes.
and we need to be able, you guys could provide that.
Yes.
All you just need to do is have a contract. How do I get that?
Get in touch with us. We'll give you our information at the info desk after this, and then we can discuss the details.
And this in turn gives you income. How does this help the community?
So it helps the community in several ways. So first, it provides jobs. So it sustains those that we have employed in our production setup. And what happens is when we do get orders that are larger than our existing capacity, we're able to call in other members of the community on a part-time basis, what you call piecework basis, to come and work. So that is putting money in their pockets, and that means food on the table. So the more, large orders or even small orders that we do take, it has a ripple effect on the community.
Okay.
Yeah. And then this also goes towards sustainability for the organization as
right?
well. Yeah, because we plow back the money into the organization.
Let me give a parting shot here, and your personal story, connecting with where you're headed now in the next 5 years. Dream with us what Edu Kenya looks like, and how we are, and how the lives of these people in that community in Mathare will be transformed.
So my personal story. So I used to do a lot to do with projects and development in terms of buildings, construction, that kind of thing. 5 years from now, we desire to actually build our own high school. So far, we've managed to build the primary school, but we are renting our high school premises. We've bought a 10-acre piece of land, and the long-term plan is that we want to be able to build on that property. Now, what are the little steps to get there? We really, to keep the children in school, we sponsor these children in our school. And so we ask for people to join us on that journey of sponsoring the children. To keep them there, we also need to feed them. So I'm always asking for people just for food stuff, dry food stuff. But since we're not ready to actually build,
yes.
Yeah, we are thinking we want to build up food sustainability. So on that 10-acre piece of land, we want to be able to actually begin to farm and farm commercially. So that begins off with fencing, then dig for a borehole, look for a pump, all those kind of things, and even professional farming skills, you know? So my appeal is, if anybody is out there who's interested in any one of those things, just talk to us.